Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Duke Silver. Today we're playing Brotato. Brotato is a wave-based sort of action roguelite, I guess is the classification, although I've heard some people classify it as an autocaster. It's similar to Vampire Survivors or Soulstone Survivors, if any of you have played or heard of those. So basically you take on waves of enemies over and over again and between each wave you draft items and try and combine them into powerful effects to get strong enough to take on the next wave, kind of thing. And yeah, you get to choose from a bunch of different classes and whatnot, and their starting weapons. And yeah, so here are all the different potatoes. There's all of them kind of have a unique traits. Like some of them have positive and negative effects. Some of them have just positive, like the well-rounded character here, which just has 5 max HP. Plus 5% speed and plus 8 harvesting. I'll try and get into what the stats do a little more in detail once we get into the game. But yeah, so for this first run, we're going to be playing Loud Potato, which is the first potato that I cleared a run with. So this will be my my Danger Zero clear, and you'll see the menu kind of switch there because this is old footage. An update has come out since I did this Danger Zero run. But yeah, so the Loud class gets 30% extra damage, but spawns 50% extra enemies during their waves, as well as they get -3 harvesting per wave. Yeah, so harvesting is like your econ ability. The higher it is, the more kind of interest you get at the end of a wave. Like based on whatever value it is, you get like that many extra resources, materials they're called. Those little green things on the ground that you see me picking up there. Yeah, so harvesting, the higher your harvesting stat is, the more you get, and if it goes into the negative, you do lose some at the end of each wave. Also, those little potatoes with the arrow in the top right there, those are level ups, as you can see me selecting different stats here. Yeah, so they get queued for the end of the wave, so you can see them in the top right, and just at the end there, you saw me pick up a crate there, which does contain just like a random item. The higher your luck stat is, the more chance you have to see those. But yeah, so again, we get 30% extra damage, and we're seeing a lot of enemies, right? Because 50% extra spawn in with a Loud. So right now I'm just I'm picking up different guns. Also, I should note that having different types of weapons grouped together give you bonuses. Like if you have so many guns, also you can see we can equip up to 6 weapons. Each character can equip 6 weapons, except for there's a couple special cases that break that rule. But yeah, so if you have, there's like kind of like increasing bonuses for having more guns. Like say you have like 3 or 4 guns or whatever, then yeah, I think for guns is range. So like say you have 2 guns, you get like 10% extra range. And then like 3, it's like 15%. And yeah, there's different stat bonuses for just basically assembling groups of similar weapons. And that does count for weapons that are the same as well. So you can like have all 6 of the same weapon, and it'll still count for like 6 guns or whatever, right? So yeah, so basically like we're trying to just build up as much damage and sort of attack speed as possible. Because obviously we need to clear waves as the Loud character. We don't have any extra defensive capabilities. And this is again, this is old footage, so you can actually combine weapons that you're equipped. You won't see me doing that in this run because I didn't figure that out until I think I finished Danger 2 is when I finally found out you can actually combine things. But yeah, I think that covers like just the basics at least. Definitely let me know if you have any questions about the gameplay at any point, or what you think of this gameplay, or whatever improvements. I'm definitely this is definitely a new type of video, so we're definitely in the learning process here. And yeah, open to any and all feedback as always. Those little cactus looking things on the ground are health pickups as well. They pop out of trees. Trees spawn periodically and generally have like a few materials, as well as either a health thing, health consumable, or a crate. But again, like to get the crates, you have to have a high luck stat, or they only spawn like every once in a while. And yeah, now you'll see like every wave, everything, like things just get more and more hectic. Again, this is only danger 0, so this is like the very base level of difficulty, the first level. And I think they've actually increased the difficulty of each level. I know they in the last update they increased the enemy amount in on danger 5. Also, but we are seeing a higher number, of course, because we are playing Loud Potato. And again, you can see me I am trying to take a little bit of survivability, but we're mostly focusing on range damage. Because like, I mean, obviously you want range damage with guns. There's 3 different stats for like percent damage, melee damage, and range damage. The ranged and melee damage are like more like focused specific damage, and they're like more potent. So like if you're an all ranged build, you definitely like taking range damage is more potent than just taking percentage damage, because that's more of just a general damage stat. There's quite a few different little nuances, and I don't know, this game has been a lot of fun. So I'm actually pretty excited to show it off and hopefully post some more content on this game. Maybe do a Brotato stream at some point. Alright, we're just gonna take some attack speed there. And obviously the different colors are higher rarities. You can see on the left there that purple SMG is an SMG 3. And we actually already have a purple SMG, so we could buy that and it would combine. But again, I didn't know that at this point, so that's why I'm selling something to make room for it, even though I didn't necessarily need to. And purple is the third tier, and there are only 4 tiers of rarity. Red being the highest tier of rarity. So it goes gray, blue, purple, red, I believe. And yeah, you can see we've got pretty good damage output. Like there's a lot of enemies spawning, but we're clearing them out pretty good. These big charging enemies are very scary though. You have to be very mindful of them. Excuse me. Yeah, because you can't really knock them back, and yeah, when they charge at you, they do a pretty big chunk of damage. So they're definitely scary, especially if you're not a very tanky build or you don't have much dodge. There's a scope, which you can see adds range damage and range to our stats. +1 health from consumables seems good. We definitely need to find some kind of sustain. There we take a little bit of HP regen. Because like again, we're doing pretty decent damage, but we do need to make sure that we can survive. You're not going to be able to dodge everything. There's a lot of projectiles as we get farther and farther into the run, as well as again these charging enemies are very scary, and they're going to hit you at some point. And even if they don't, generally you have to dive into other enemies to dodge the charge. We're getting kind of hemmed into the corner here, but trying to break free. We managed to break through the enemies there, and it's also you're trying to balance, like trying to pick up the materials. There are items that allow, or that can make materials kind of float to you when they get dropped. All right, and there's we're gonna take some wings, which is gonna give us a bunch of extra speed. Speed, I think, is really important. Also, that pumpkin gives us piercing damage, or piercing bullets. Yeah, so speed's really important, especially when you're not very tanky. So yeah, just being able to maneuver around the map is very, very strong and very necessary. As you can see, we're floating a little faster now. Also, if you haven't noticed, the gameplay is sped up a little bit, so hopefully that's okay, and you can still everything seems coherent, and you're able to keep up. And you can see there's some bigger, tankier enemies spawning now. We've got a turret there. that spawned. It's not really doing a lot, but yeah, you need to increase your engineering stat, which is kind of like there's a couple very specific stats that just do very specific things. So like engineering will increase the damage output on certain tool weapons, as well as your mines and any turrets you can pick up. So there's a triangle of power is a pretty interesting one. We just picked that up. So every time we get hit, our damage lowers. But since we're kind of like we're keeping away from enemies anyways, I think it's a pretty easy pickup for us, because it's also going to give us 20% extra damage initially. Again, with that downside of if we get hit, you lose 2% damage per hit. But with the amount of attack speed and the rate of fire we have, we clear out enemies pretty quick before they can even get to us, as you can see. So that was a pretty big power spike. Take a couple hits, but our damage output's still good, and the wave is almost over now. And again, with one of the dangers of this kind of build is like, if there's too many things on the battlefield there and we can't get to our materials, we can kind of lose econ. But fortunately, we're doing pretty good here. Getting 500 per run is very good. You can really make use of the extra enemy spawn by I mean, you get a lot of extra materials, right? If you can kill more things per run. Also, we took an item, sorry, I forgot the name of it, but it says it gives you plus 3 HP, but you start the next wave with 1 HP. So again, this is a very early in my my Brotato journey, I guess. So like, I didn't really understand exactly what everything was doing. So like, I definitely was just taking things because I was like, okay, sure, this seems fine. And I don't think I read the fine print on the on that item, but fortunately we're able to keep everything away, but long enough for us to regen the HP to come back from 1 HP there. All right, so handcuffs, we took those, which is going to give us melee and range damage, but it's going to lock our HP, our max HP at what it is right now. So like, I'm not sure that was the best pickup, but I mean, it's going to give us a significant damage boost, which is fine. Again, I don't know that at this point I'm not sure that I can, or I didn't know that I could combine weapons. So that's why I'm selling guns to make room for other ones. Bandana, I believe, gives our projectiles the ability to bounce. And I think we're going to take this medical turret. Again, we don't have any engineering, so it's not going to do a lot, but it is going to be giving us a little bit of extra health. It's going to basically shoot healing bullets into us every time we're near it, or while we're near it periodically. Again, we're just clearing this wave like nothing. Just cutting a swath through the enemies here. Take a few. See, again, there are a lot more projectiles now that we're deeper into the wave. Also, the waves only go up to 20. I didn't mention that, but yeah, we're on wave 14 of 20. So once you get to wave 20, there is a boss, and you have to either take out the boss or you can just survive in the run. So fortunately, you don't have to actually kill the boss at the very end of the game, or at the very end of the on wave 20. You can just survive. So obviously, tank builds are viable as well. In fact, I think tank builds are very good. There's a blue SMG that we could buy, but at the time I didn't know that. So seeing that's a little bit painful. Because I could have been a lot stronger in this run, but I was just ignorant. But again, we're still dealing massive amounts of damage. It's danger 0. I'm pretty sure the HPs on enemies is lower than normal, so we're able to make do with just what we have here. Not that our build is bad. We've got like the triangle of power, and we've got like piercing and bouncing bullets here, so So our build is doing a lot. Also, at this point, I didn't. You don't actually have to pick up the crates while you're playing. Like, you do have to hit the consumables to get your HP back, but the crates will actually come to you at the end of the wave, which I didn't know. So I took a lot of damage just trying to like fight my way to the crates, thinking that I needed to pick them up by the end of the wave. Wings, a second pair of wings is going to give us another decent boost to speed there, and then we picked up a another scope, just more range damage. So we're going to be clearing even faster than we were before. As you can see, we're just demolishing enemies left and right, literally, in every single direction. As you can see, different enemies obviously spawn later and later. Like the fancier the helmet you can see on an enemy, the more tanky it is. Also, there's like some sort of blob enemies, blob-looking enemies, anyways, that are spawning, and those are like support enemies. So you want to take those out as soon as possible. I believe they either increase the damage or heal. There's a couple different ones that provide different support to the enemies that you wanna get rid of course. All right, I think we're gonna take a wisdom here. It reduces your damage by 20%, but every 5 seconds you're gonna gain 5% of your damage. So as long as you can survive 20 seconds, you're gonna start to get a bigger damage boost. So that becomes very, very strong. As you can see, even with the damage reduction for the first few seconds, we're still clearing things very well, and we're just gonna start steadily doing more and more damage as the wave goes on. Yeah, now we're starting to just melt things. Just melt right through these hordes of enemies. Projectiles are a problem. But yeah. If you can kill things fast enough, then the bullets don't get too bullet hell like. Once you get to higher difficulties, the projectiles get a little bit ridiculous. All right, wave 18. Now this is a wave that has like a whole bunch of charging enemies. As you can see them just barreling towards us. These are definitely terrifying, especially when we're not especially healthy or tanky. We're kind of a glass cannon here. But again, our damage is enough and our rate of fire is enough. Oh, we take a couple hits, and you can see just a couple hits, and we're down to less than half health there. So you gotta be real careful at the end of the game here. There's an exoskeleton, which is a red item, which is just a big chunk of stats, basically. A lot of the stats are our survivability. And that item we just took is a 100% chance to attract materials. As you can see, every time we kill something, the little green materials are getting sucked right into us. So that's a huge item for this. I mean, we're on wave 19. Like, it would be a lot nicer a lot earlier, but that means that we don't have to fight to try and pick up materials anymore, which is nice. Also, there's some very fun builds you can do with that item. There's a couple different items that say like you have a chance to gain a health or a chance to deal a random amount of energy a random amount of damage to an enemy when you pick up a material. So when they're all coming to you like that, then things can get very silly, especially when you can start scaling the damage on that item, and yeah, enemies start dying because of the random chance, and then you just start enemies basically just start popping all over the map, and you don't really have to do anything. So I've got a run like that that'll be coming in a while, but yeah, that one was super fun. There's a Vigilante Ring, which gives you plus 3% damage every single turn, or every single wave. Fortunately, we're on the final wave now, so that's not going to help us at all. We do go for just some extra damage to try and get the kill on this boss before. Alright, you can see that they spawn projectiles pretty fast in pretty big areas, so like you have to be very mindful of where you're standing. Again, we're very low there, so we need to just basically dodge and try and wait for our HP to regen. There's two different ways to like gain health passively. There's a HP regen stat as well as a lifesteal stat, and I think we're stacked up with HP regen, and we didn't really take yeah, we have negative lifesteal, which fortunately there's no real negative for having negative lifesteal. Some stats do detriment you when they go in the negatives, but lifesteal is not one of them, fortunately. But yeah, so there we have it. My first clear on Brotato, a Danger Zero run with Loud character, playing a bunch of guns, and yeah, again, this game is super fun. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you have not already. Yeah, again, I'm open to any and all feedback regarding this. Let me know if there's other games that you would want to see. Again, I'll still be uploading Storybook Brawl content, but I'm gonna sort of intersperse it with other things. It'll be Brotato for a little bit. I'm gonna try and get these posted within a reasonable time frame here. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.